The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Hey everyone, it's Antenna, and you are watching the DL Show only on Dave's Guitar Channel.
I am so happy to be here tonight. We're going to show you some magic, so I'd like you all to let go of all your preconceptions of what you think is impossible. Because tonight, absolutely nothing is impossible.
All righty. Welcome, everybody. It is Wednesday night. Krelbar, you there? Okay, your thing was said muted. Yep. What is happening, everyone? We want to, let's just say hello real quick around the horn. We got Joe, as usual. We have Krelbar, and special guest tonight we have is Bonnie. Bonnie, welcome. You are here, yes. What's that?
You went back to widescreen ratio.
No, I didn't. It's just with four of us here. That's all right. Oh, you can't hear me. Hold on. How come you can't hear me?
Well, what's the audio?
How about now, Bonnie? Everything was just working. Hey, Pam, what's happening? Six String Brian, welcome. Andy. Did you put it on mute on the iPad? Let's see. Let me see what your mic settings. No, everything's set right here on this end. You want to pop out and pop back in? Okay. All right, she'll be right back. All righty, guys, what's happening?
Nothing much.
I just finished work about an hour ago. Figured
Nice.
I'd
How did that go?
a little bit.
And like I said, Chuck shall be here shortly. Yeah, I'm looking to see if there's anything on my end. No. Excellent. All right. Very good.
What is she using to connect with?
I think she's on an iPad. I think. But I don't know. Oh, hey, thanks, Andrew Collins. Hey, now. Thank you.
Yeah, me and Mikey were watching on the Roku, and then I checked in on the tablet, and I had a strong on some prick making comments.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what they were talking about Monday night. Some jackass was being a dick. So I removed his comments and blocked them.
Oh, okay.
There was one in the crowd.
Bonnie, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, but
Okay, we hear you.
Excellent.
sorry about that.
That's all right.
Krelbar does it all the time. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Krelbar will be talking to us for 5 minutes before he realizes his microphone's been muted.
Yeah, these are old. I got headphones, but they're not charged. Hi.
Ah,
All right, here we go.
all righty. Excellent. Very good. Let's see. Yeah. So, wait, what were you just saying? Oh, someone was saying. Oh, you were saying, Joe. Somebody was talking. I heard it was. Someone said it was Snowball. Jay, was it Jay?
Yeah, that might have been Snowball 1138 or something. I don't know who it is.
Yeah,
but
I don't know his full name. Yeah, I don't know his full name. All right. Anything pressing today, gents, before I jump into all kinds of topics?
Hello, Strat Dad.
Nothing
By the way,
pressing.
Joe, that list was just terrible on Monday. Not your fault, clearly, but that was just terrible. Although the only one I agreed with was number one, Alan Holdsworth. And you know what's funny? So then yesterday, after that show, I went in my car and I switched my Spotify to Alan Holdsworth radio, but listening to him nonstop for 2 days.
There you go.
It's great. And today I had to
Alan
go.
Holdsworth, Cher, and the fucking what were they? Osmond.
The Osmonds. Wasn't that great? My brother sent that to me today, so I had to share it. It was great.
I mean, were they going to sidle up with Evel Knievel and jump something? What the fuck are they wearing?
Oh, those costumes in the 70s were the best.
Oh,
And they were doing all the Stevie Wonder songs. And I'll tell you what it was. It was good, wholesome family entertainment from 1975. I was probably 7 years old. I was 6 years old when that aired. And I don't know if I would have said I found Cher attractive at that age.
I think she was most attractive at that age.
I know, but at my age, I was 6,
Oh.
so I don't know if that was.
Yeah. No, that'd be like your mom.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
at the time, I did have a thing for Linda Carter.
Oh yeah.
Oh, everyone did. My
better-
father
yeah.
was in
Well,
love
she
with
was
her.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, not so much Jamie Summers.
Don't say nothing about my bionic woman.
Let me tell you, why did they put $1 million into her? She was a tennis pro. The government is getting involved, putting bionic parts in a tennis pro. The show doesn't make any sense.
They did it because she was
More
Steve's
busy
girlfriend.
Linda Carter.
They did it because she was Steve's girlfriend.
Yeah. But not for long. Not for long. The $6
Yeah,
million
because they
man.
gave
Anyway,
bionics to the fucking dog, and that's all she needed after that.
But that was wholesome entertainment. Now let's discuss what wasn't so wholesome. Did anyone here watch the Super Bowl on Sunday?
No, we talked about that.
Oh, hold on. You know what? I just remembered that Florida Evans had a bet on that. Florida, you do realize that Kansas City won. Folks, she is not happy. First time she's hearing it. I'll tell you who I told to bet on Kansas City. He didn't listen to me, did you, Al?
Fuck you, Dave.
All right. We've had enough of that. All right. Anyways, the Super Bowl was the halftime show. Did you guys? Bonnie and I were discussing it a little bit before the show, and we wanted to discuss it full out to see what people thought about it. Joe, so you didn't watch it?
No.
Krelbar, what about you?
Well, like you said, it was pretty amazing, those floating stages and stuff. And that's about
Yes,
it.
visually, the theatrics was, but isn't that what entertainment is? Well, what's in lieu of entertainment today is let's wow them with one thing because we're falling short on everything else. Bonnie, what did you think of it?
The halftime show, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't impressed.
No. Do you think it's a problem, though, that we're getting into where everything is so sexualized? What was she doing? She was rubbing herself, smelling her hand after. Did anyone catch that? I don't know what the hell was going on.
If my daughter was younger, I know she wasn't watching that anyways, but if she was younger and I was watching it with her, I probably wouldn't be watching the Super Bowl halftime. I shut it off.
Yeah.
Because that's inappropriate.
I just don't know who they think is watching that game because I've watched the Super Bowls ever since I was a little kid. And everyone gets around you. Usually that's like time you spend with your dad. Everyone sits around watching the game and ordering food, eating and having a good time and watching the commercials and getting a kick out of who's making the most ridiculous commercials. The commercials this year were terrible.
Oh, they're terrible every year.
Yeah.
No, there's some good ones.
I can't remember a good one in ages.
Back in the day, well, at least
some good
20
ones.
years ago. 20 years ago.
There was one from a few years ago that Radio Shack did with all the 80s personalities in there. That was great.
I always think there's a couple of good ones every year. Andrew Collins says Rihanna was horrible. Dom Hall says he agrees but gets slack for it. I don't think there's any. Tahoe says, "Hey Joe, where you going with that gun in your hand?" I just think that it's inappropriate, and I just think that it's like people don't realize you have a lot of young kids watching the game, and I just don't think
they don't care. It's not that
they don't care anymore.
They don't care.
Yeah, why?
What's the word I'm looking for? Like they don't have any. What is that word? Like cool. What is that word? They don't care. Like you said, they don't care. They don't.
Yeah,
it's
scruples.
It's easy. It's easier to cause commotion and to make more money. More people are talking about you. The more people are talking about you, and more craziness happen. I feel is that's what they want. They're making money.
Morality. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think they're all about celebrity. How
money.
Much? Who's talking about it on Twitter?
Yep.
It's gotten sad because it's like and I'll say this again. It's in lieu of entertainment. Like it's not entertaining. It's instead of entertainment tonight, folks. We've decided we're going to have Rihanna perform. Oh, thank you. Usually, I know you guys try to entertain me, but today you're going to look at it different. Thank you for that. And yeah, it's just, and then who the hell wants to listen to Rihanna? Like, why? Who chose? Hey, listen, there's so many bands that they could have even gotten together just to do one, 20-minute little quick set, which would be like, that would get people talking. But instead, nah. Tom Hall says he knew one song.
I wouldn't know one song if you put a gun to my head.
I wouldn't either.
Literally would not know one.
I actually had to play a song years ago with hers, Umbrella.
Yeah, and everyone was like, "Oh, did you see Nuno Betancourt was playing guitar? Was there guitar in anything? I couldn't hear anything."
I didn't see him.
He's getting a good fat paycheck though.
Yeah, he got paid, but still. God, why is it when people talk about music, somebody's got to bring up the Foo Fighters? Dom Hall, easy on the Foo Fighters. I'm not a fan.
I'd love to see the Foo Fighters do a halftime show. It'd be better than anything they've had in recent years. Hell, I'd rather see Up With People than Rihanna.
What was that? I'd like to give the world a Coke.
Show was good where they have all the rappers. That was a good one. Wasn't that?
Come on, Dave, give us a break. Who was Up With People? What was their song?
Oh, they were just a bunch of good-spirited folk. They were like a cult or whatever, and they just sang happy songs.
Who was the? Were they the? I thought they were the ones. Who's the ones that did? I'd like to find and perfect.
I like to buy the. I like to buy the.
I thought it was By the World of Coke, but that was when they changed it. What was the original though? Who did that? I thought that was Up With People. Prince was the best. No, it wasn't the Association. It was a folk group. I thought like of 100, like maybe 10 singers. The Kings, what were they called? The Something Singers. The Something Singers. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it's the I can't think of what something is, but it's the Something Singers.
Yeah,
the New Seekers
people played like 5 Super Bowls or something. The halftime shows sucked back then.
The melody
Brian.
was derived from a previous jingle by Cook and Greenway, originally called "True and Apple Pie." It was recorded in '71 by Susan Shirley.
No, but the New Seekers was the band.
Yeah, the New Seekers. I'd like
that's
to
the
teach
one
the
that I
world
know.
to sing in perfect harmony. Boomtown.
Yeah. And that's the kind of entertainment I don't want to hear either. But I'm just saying there is a middle ground. Like, I mean, there just could have been so much better stuff going around. I don't know. Like, do kids listen to Rihanna? Is that something children listen to? I have no idea. But
yeah, she was acting appropriately for children.
Right.
I mean,
right. It would be like, Missy Elliott's going to the kindergartens to go perform. I'd actually go see that show just to watch the kids' reactions of like, the hell am I seeing here? So in Los Angeles, I used to go to the schools and perform for kids. And a buddy of mine went to this one school. And, we were trying to pick out songs that, like Sweet Home Alabama. A lot of kids would sing. They would sing along to that. And one day my buddy goes, I want to do American Trilogy. Will you learn it? I said, yeah, we'll do it. Now, you guys know American Trilogy at all? The Elvis Presley song. Oh, I wish I was in the land of cotton.
Oh, yeah.
Look away. Dixieland he does. And then he starts doing glory, glory. My buddy is singing it full out like Elvis. I'm playing guitar with tears in my eyes, laughing because the kids are looking at us like we are a car accident. They're just in horror. It was hilarious. And I'm like, we're never getting asked back to the school again. But then we did the Spinners, I'll Be Around, and all the teachers started dancing. And I'm like, all right, we got back in the good graces, thankfully. Chris Stapleton was very good. Did you guys happen to catch? Did anyone watch the replay of that?
The volume wasn't really up loud.
Well, that's why I asked if you watched the replay. It's very good. He's good entertainment.
He's good. Yeah, he's good.
He's good.
Yeah,
he's good. And yeah, I mean, it's just very strange to me. I mean, just imagine if you ever watched it, like the show. What's the one with the tall country singer, The Voice? You guys ever watched The Voice?
Oh, Blake.
Blake
Shelton.
Shelton, yeah.
Blake Shelton, he's the tall country singer. In The Voice, could you imagine if someone came out and just started gangster rapping or started singing all these inappropriate songs? First of all, the network would have a fit. You can't do that on a show. And then, but it just wouldn't happen. So why does it happen for the Super Bowl?
They just allow it. They're allowing
or
it
the Grammys.
That's awful. That was all to me. That was
So the funny thing is the first time I heard of Sam Smith was when he was getting sued from Jeff Lynne and Tom Petty. Right? He did that song "Stay With Me."
Yeah.
and Petty said it was exactly the same as his song, I Won't Back Down. And I won't back down. And he was like, stay with me. It was the same, whatever song. And now he's back a lot fatter and dressed as the devil, but not like dressed as the devil. It was more like dressed in a CVS devil costume. You know, like when you go to CVS and you're looking by, you go by the candies and you're like, oh, wow, they have circus peanuts here. And then they're like, oh, look at that devil costume. And they show like a 6-year-old. That's the costume this guy wore.
Yeah.
It was, so I can't say that it was a very sexy outfit.
And he used his 30% coupon too. Yeah,
exactly. But the point is I think they're trying to be, at least with him, they're like, we're doing devil stuff because we're going to draw up controversy. But when you try to draw up controversy, it always falls short, doesn't it? It's like, you know what I mean?
You're trying too hard.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody's doing devil stuff now. You can't get away from it.
It's awful.
Now, speaking of Dave Grohl as the devil, he was great in The Pick of Destiny.
Pick of Destiny.
Yeah. He was great. And that was very funny. I thought the Sam Smith thing, I just don't. People ask me, like, when I first saw it, like, what did you think? And I'm like, it's trying to be racy, but it falls short. There wasn't anything about it because there's no, I feel like the music today just has zero substance.
True.
There's zero substance.
Oh, of course it doesn't. You got 20 people to write one shitty song. When you read the lyrics, you want to bang your head against the wall.
On auto-tune.
My brother's here. My brother says, great show as always. Music industry is always too contrived. Yeah, it really, but it's gotten so much worse. But you're right. Even though, like, when I was a kid, I remember the Grammys. I can remember certain performances on the Grammys living in the first house I lived in when we grew up. And so that's before I was 11 years old. And I remember watching Bad Company perform Rock and Roll Fantasy. I remember the Starland Vocal Band performing. I remember Kiss performing. And what was the white-haired guy's name? When You Get Behind. Is that Charlie Rich? Oh, he was great. God, he was great. He ruled AM radio when I was a kid. But back then, it wasn't like they weren't trying to offend. See, that's my whole point. I think it's absurd when people start telling me they're offended by things because I'm like, all right, well, you're offended. Do I care? I honestly don't. Because if I'm offended by something, I don't know if I would care either. But the point is when you offend to offend, then it becomes more offensive because now it's like you're just trying to prick up the numbers so people will talk about you. As opposed to saying, as opposed to somebody actually just doing something that they're genuine about, where, like if someone says, oh, I believe that, whatever you believe, if it's something you truly believe, well, then how can you get offended by it? But if it's something you don't believe, you're just saying it just to offend. And I feel like that's what Sam Smith tried to do. Like, I'm a gay male and I know the Christians hate me, so I'm going to get dressed up as the devil. Well, aren't you cute? Don't you look adorable?
I think Madonna's the same way. She just, you know what? That's the only thing she can reach for now, being her age. She's ageism. Nobody celebrates women over 45. Well, she doesn't celebrate her age by what she's doing to her face, by how she's acting.
She looks like a Muppet.
It's not even so much.
Did you see that picture, Krelbar? When they put her side by side with
Janice,
a Muppet.
With Janice on the Muppets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's hysterical.
Is it Janice or Janet?
I don't know. Maybe it's Janet.
That's the one in the band?
Yes.
I'll say this, and everybody, if you're everyone that's in the chat, what do we got now? 35 people in the chat. For the chat, please look this up. She looks like Robert Zadar. Z''DAR. Let me bring Chuck into the group. Chuck just showed up. Chuck, welcome to the club.
Hey, Chuck.
Hello.
Chuck, do you remember the actor Robert Zadar? That's who Madonna. When I saw Madonna, I was like, Oh, yes. My brother says they showed a picture of Susanne Hoffs currently and natural and said she is the same age as Madonna.
Oh,
Madonna just looks terrible, but she's fought always to try to maintain relevance. And the thing is, it's like, so you did the Desperately Seeking Susan look, which was her original look. And then she had the Vogue type of look and the Justify My Love, where she became overly sexualized, which again, she was probably in her 30s, and that's fine. Like, that's how she wanted to take her career. But now at her age, it's like, well, nobody wants to see well, that's done work to her face. That's still trying to be like the edgy sexual being. It's like, well, now, like, reinvent yourself again. That's what you should do. It's the same thing I say about, like, when you see David Gilmour from Pink Floyd, he's got the short haircut. He looks like an English gentleman. And then Jimmy Page, you look at him and he looks like a Korean grandmother. And it's like, Jimmy, cut the fucking hair. You're 70-something years old. Can we cut the hair?
Hugh, you're right about that.
About what?
Susanne Hoffs. You look at her on her Twitter and you're like, that you're in your 60s?
Yeah, she looks fantastic.
She looks a little like Fran Drescher to some degree, too.
Well, I'm just saying, but she still looks great. No one's like,
I didn't mean that as an insult.
No, I know, but Madonna's just doing what I call the lefty distraction. It's a lefty distraction. If you don't like the way I look, it's because you suffer from ageism.
Yeah.
Oh, it can't just be that you don't like her. You have to have the problem. I don't think Prince is that great of a guitar player. You're a racist. Really? I think there's other black guitar players that are great, but I just don't think he's a great guitar player. You're a racist. All right, that's the distraction. You got to throw it out. Nothing to see. It's like Frank Drebin in front of all the fireworks. Nothing to see here. You missed it. We were talking a little bit about the Super Bowl. Did you missed the halftime show. Did you watch the Grammys at all, Chuck? Your mic's not on. Oh, okay, there you are.
Yeah, I just turned it on. How's that?
Oh, good.
No, I didn't watch any of the halftime show, the Grammys. None of it. None of it. I mean, I could tell you what happened, and I didn't have to watch it to tell you what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Rubbish. Just like the pregame rubbish.
Right.
I guess the whole thing I could say is this: everything's so manufactured now. It's it's like reading a comic book. It's to the point where you just, I don't think you put any stock in anything as far as like formalized awards.
Right.
Yeah, but a comic book is entertaining.
True. Very true.
Andrew Collins says she's still trying to act like she's 25. Yeah, Madonna's trying to be. Well, I think it's like for a long time, Madonna was brilliant. She was brilliant. She had her thumb on the pulse. And I'll say the same thing, since this is a guitar channel, I'll even throw this. So was Leo Fender. But when they got older, everyone looks to them to be like, oh, Chuck, that's you that's echoing. Mute again if you're not talking. So when like Leo Fender, when Leo Fender started going to G&L, I don't know if you've seen some of the early G&Ls he designed, but they buried them. They went back and then they went back and brought the Strat back and said, look, it's the legacy. It's just a Strat, because the guy had nothing. And Madonna's trying to be relevant. She was very relevant. She reinvented herself 3 or 4 times. But now at this age where she's disappeared for a few years and basically Lady Gaga stole her gig. Guys, where are you on this? Lady Gaga stole the. She does. Lady Gaga is just a ripoff of Madonna.
I gotta put it this way, bro. I gotta throw the challenge flag on that. Lady Gaga's got a voice.
She's got
Madonna's
talent.
voice is froggier than mine. Always has been. Lady Gaga's got a look. She's not, cinched in. She's not, you know what I mean? She doesn't got to scrape for attention. Madonna's always been what we would refer to as a boot. Low talent boot. I just think they stuffed her in your eye. Whereas I think Lady Gaga is a monster talent, monster voice, and everything Madonna would have liked to have actually been, but wasn't.
But you have to admit, when Lady Gaga came out, she was singing the same style as Madonna. I mean, she basically took over that role.
Running around half naked too.
Yeah.
That's what she's got to do.
But
Yeah, she's got a voice, but she still has to be dramatic and do things that are inappropriate.
Yeah. I mean, of course. It's all over the top.
I
remember the meat suit.
Yeah, I don't care how good of a voice you have. If you're disgusting, you're disgusting. Like, if you have no couth, like, come on.
Right. And she's a lot different looking than when she was on The Sopranos. Do you guys remember her on The Sopranos?
Oh, she was on Sopranos?
Lady Gaga was on The Sopranos. She was the girl when AJ and they were throwing all the trophies in the pool. She was one of the girls in that scene.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know she was on that show Boiling Point once.
Yes, we lost Raquel Welch today, everybody.
Oh, really?
I think was a monster as far as just great. A great bit of nostalgia. I have to say, I have to laugh because Chuck threw the name out Nita Talbot at me last night, and I didn't even blink and threw out a Columbo episode she's on. I think that conversation was making me laugh today.
All timers list is all I can say.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, who do we say? Bonnie? Let me go with you first. Who would you say has been like a class act through their career?
Oof, give me a minute on that one.
I'll give you a little help. I think Ann Wilson has been.
Yeah.
Because even when she was thin and attractive, and I hope Ann's watching because I want her on my show next week. When Ann was, I'm joking. When Ann was thin and attractive, like she would get pissed off at inappropriate shit, and that's what she wrote Barracuda about.
I didn't know that.
The people that used to come up to her and say all these like incredulous things about her and her sister.
No, I loved her. I love Ann. I totally forgot about them though. I haven't heard them in a while, so yeah.
Yeah, I think she was great.
She's amazing. She's an amazing voice.
Yeah, Pat Benatar, Andrew Collins says.
Hugh says Bob Dylan.
Now, Bonnie, you had mentioned to me the other day something about mentoring.
Yes.
Is that something you're doing now?
I do. I mentor at what is it called? The junior high school in West Warwick, Deering.
Oh, okay.
A 7th grader.
All right. And how was that?
It's heartbreaking. I wouldn't say that to
of course,
in front of the kid, but it is because these kids there's so many kids that don't have the attention, that don't have somebody to look up to. If they do, the parents are either working, absent. I can relate because my father wasn't around and my mom was emotionally unavailable. She was an alcoholic and she, gave her, we had a roof over our head, but that was it. If I had a mentor, would have saved a lot of money in therapy.
Right.
For real. I'm not lying. Yeah, like it just every day I go in there and I'm not every day, I go once a week, but I don't know if anybody could ever mentor any of these kids, man. It's worth it.
Yeah, it's a noble thing to do, I think.
I mean, my cousin, I didn't even think of it. She, around Christmas time, she was like, hey, because she teaches over there. And she's like, you know what? There's like 7 out of her 12 kids that don't have mentors. She's like, I have one girl. Would you mentor? And I'm like, absolutely. I never even thought of it, but oh my goodness. I'm glad I started.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's also rewarding too, in its way, because you're paying shit forward in life that you didn't have.
I hope so. I hope
that's the point, I would imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. To just being there, just showing up. I mean, I'm not helping her with like her academics because I'm not her teacher. I'm not her parent. So I'm literally just showing up for her. We played games. You know,
Cool.
we talk
Right.
just like friends.
Oh, what is this? Samsung changed its lead. It's like my phone makes noise after everything. Yeah, no, I understand. And Joe, Joe here on the bottom here, he takes care of a guy as well. Does as I like to say, God's work.
Mm.
Right, Joe?
Yeah,
That's
I was just
admitted.
about to get up and put him to bed. That's 2 days in a row. His nurse bugged out early.
Really?
Well, yesterday was Valentine's Day, and she had to go to dinner, and today, apparently the dinner she ate last night, the calamari was bad, and she was throwing up. She looked fine when she walked out.
Right.
So,
smiling.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay. So but you got into mentoring, and also tell us some more about yourself, because the people in the chat want to know. Are you going to be doing up your YouTube channel soon? Are you going to be addressing that at some point?
I always wanted to. I'd like to. I just haven't. I have so many other things on my plate. It's like if I put that on my plate, I feel like or if I even talk about it, I feel like it's just going to still sit there like it's been. Like I have every intention to.
Well, let's get you some subs. What is the name of your YouTube channel? I'll post it in the chat.
Tapped In. There's only 2 episodes on there though.
That's all right, but that's how we're going to get you to put up some more content. Hold on. Tapped In, it's called?
Tapped In with Bonnie Berek. It might even be on my Facebook link.
I'm looking it up right now to put the link in here. Oh, I got it.
Did you get it?
Yeah. Now I just click this. All right. Guys, if you would, get in there and sub Bonnie's channel. It's right there. Okay, Joe just went to go handle Mikey.
I started.
Okay, so you started your channel. You were like, you interviewed a girl. I think it was a fitness thing that I saw.
I actually did. I think it was 2020. I started. I don't even remember. I have to go back and look at the episodes, but I started doing it right before COVID, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do all the things.
Right.
Let me start this. And then one of my, we'll say, so I want to call him, somebody I have asked for advice, Trevor Bauer. He's a baseball player.
Okay.
And I had messaged him. I said, hey, what should I do? Where do I start? And he's like, just do it. As long as you can hear yourself with no distractions in the back, just put it out there. Just start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did. I did the first one with my daughter in my Jeep outside.
Wow.
But I mean, you could hear some birds. I'm like, oh boy. And then the next one I did with my girlfriend. And we talked about her fitness journey, and we did it inside LA Fitness in the kids' room when there was no kids, and all of a sudden kids started coming in like near the end. I'm like, man. But I still put it out there, and then I had a few other people set up and they canceled, and then I just ended up doing other things with like my acting and stuff. So I'll do it.
So you act as well.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, there are some guys that actually do cigar reviews from their car. And anytime I see that, like I'm watching it, I'm like, I can't even imagine how bad that car must smell.
Yeah.
I'm like, that car must be like a coffin of the last 400 cigars the guy's tasted. And he's like, and he's in his car, and I'm just like, oh, give me a break.
Yeah.
Now you've also competed in fitness as well. Let's get it out there.
Yeah, I did that. Well, I did martial arts for a while first, and then I decided, I think it was about 8 years ago or so, I was like, you know what, let me try something different. So I did, I trained and I competed for bikini. I mean, to me, it wasn't that hard because I'm not like way out of shape. So, I did that. I won, I did an NPC. I won first in masters and fifth in novice. And then that was it for me. It wasn't my thing. I love working out, but the whole prep thing, especially the last like 6 weeks, were awful. Hated it.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Chuck, Chuck has competed. You've done some strongman competitions with Bill Kazmaier.
Yep.
Let's see you go again.
Nice.
I competed football, powerlifting, strongman. It's just I look at competition kind of like I think people should look at religion. It should be between you and whoever. Meaning like religion should be between you and God or whatever you think. Your competition between you, yourself, or you and the barbell. I think it's a very singular undertaking, but I also think you don't get to be very good if you don't have a team of support around you. No matter what, I don't care if you're a golfer, I don't care if you're checkers, I don't care if you're a competitive reader, competitive eater. If you don't have that support system, that's gonna at least, bounce ideas off you and give you knowledge or just a second set of eyes. Because nobody gets great at anything. Number one, by themselves, and number two, I didn't know anybody at any high level of anything I competed in who was dumb. And by dumb, I don't mean intelligent, but like everybody I met was very knowledgeable, very intelligent, and had insight. That's what I mean by like I don't care, it's guitar, whatever it is. If you can give somebody something to learn, is kind of like what you're saying, Bon, about the mentor thing. You're getting them higher on the scale. That's what I enjoyed about competition. Now I enjoyed, talking to some of the younger guys about, oh, try this, try that, and it's really enjoyable. It's really enjoyable, So.
Yeah, well, you're internalizing the competition between you and the machinery, whatever you want to call it. I do want to say though that the world champion in checkers said they did it all by themselves. They didn't need a team. they said, well, "King me," and they just kept.
You know what Big Earn said in Kingpin? I think no one but myself.
Bill Murray.
I'm rich enough to buy my way out of it.
What do you do with that big bag of sugar? Didn't I tell you to call me Big Earn? Bill Murray's great in that movie. Hugh Caldwell says he just subbed your channel, Bonnie. Let's get everyone in there to sub. Let's go, guys. Get in there. What are we doing here? So interesting. So the mentoring thing is, I always think it's a good thing. I did it on a much broader level. I used to work for the Police Activities League in Los Angeles, and in South Central would go in and go to classrooms and talk to kids about the history of music, about how all music is the same and it's all different at the same time. And just like the history of everything, like a lot of the Hispanic kids loved heavy metal. So I talked a lot about heavy metal to them, but it was good. And then we had a program where I got a manufacturer, which at the time Bingham was running this company. And everyone here knows Bingham. And he's a buddy of mine. And Bingham set it up that whoever did the best in grades, who was the most improved student, got this free guitar. And then I gave lessons to the person. And so we ended up doing that. It was all written up in the LA Times. It was really cool. But it's good to get people motivated, whatever it takes.
Yeah, that's great. That is great.
And it's like there's a lot of and just in this chat itself, as you're well aware, Bonnie, that I am on the carnivore diet, as I'm sure Carl harangues everybody's ear about it. And there's a lot of people in the chat that have started doing it. Chuck has started it. Joe does it. But it really does make you feel different. There's an alertness. There's a let me just move these guys around a little bit here. Can I do this? There's like an alertness. There's the mental fog is gone, and just everything. So I always feel like it's good to help people. But I get a kick out of when people tell me, they'll say like, they'll tell me some food that they weren't supposed to eat. I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do? I'm not going to get mad. It's you. You do what you do. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like if you have a workout partner and they tell you that they skipped the day, you're like, all right, well, I didn't, so I don't care. What do I? Right. I always just get a kick out of. They want to burden you with it. It's like, don't tell me. I don't care. Like, if you're gonna do it, do it. If you're not gonna do it, don't do it. What can I? I mean, I'm just here to help. And I want you to do
there's
it.
like a purification process. Look, go outside.
It seems like
get outside the camp, wait 3 fucking days, and then come back.
I want to show up in a big long white robe with a bishop's hat and be like, oh, I'll mix all the religions and I'll just start davening like a rabbi, going, okay, I wish you didn't do this.
So at the end of the show, if you want a big laugh, go on YouTube, put in Marty Feldman, Bishop of No Fixed Abode. That's all I'm going to say. You will laugh and laugh and laugh.
He's a huge Marty Feldman fan. Krelbar, did you happen to look up who Robert Zadar was?
No. Is he that guy with the big chin?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Maniac Cop.
Yeah, I've seen him.
That is? Maniac Cop.
But that's the face. That's what Madonna looks like she's striving for. It's like pretty soon she's going to be in B movies taking over the roles of Henry Silva.
No, he's no longer with us, is he?
Well, he passed a few years.
If he is, I mean, he'd be 100-something years old. I just love the old actors. Hey, Dwight Bailey. I like. Yeah, I mean, let's find out more about Bonnie on this show, shall we? Since we have her here, Bonnie, what is your favorite TV show of all time? We are a bunch of pop culture knuckleheads.
Yeah.
All right. I have a lot of favorites, so I don't have a favorite. So starting from when I was younger, Solid Gold.
Oh yeah.
You remember Solid Gold?
Do I remember it? Let me ask you this question. Do you think Andy Gibb ever slept with Madam?
Probably.
While Waylon Flowers' hand was up her. The way Madam was the puppet.
Yes.
Always flirting with Andy Gibb.
Yes. I loved that show. Oh, I always wanted to be one of the dancers.
Arsenio Hall was the resident comedian on
But show wasn't Madam.
Oh, what else?
All right, Solid Gold was good. You guys remember who the first season host of Solid Gold was?
Dionne Warwick, wasn't it?
That is correct.
No?
It was Dionne Warwick.
Yeah, I loved her.
And then Marilyn McCoo took over.
Yep.
Won't you marry me, Bill? I used to love Marilyn McCoo. I love you so I always will. Yeah, it's great.
The Mandrell sisters. I used to love them, but I didn't really like them a lot. Yeah. Barbara Mandrell, and then her 2 sisters. I forget their names.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So long ago.
I think it was the Mandrell sisters, eh?
Yeah, right.
Hugh, Chuck could answer his favorite. I don't think Bonnie's familiar with the show. Bonnie, you familiar with the show Cannon from the 70s?
I mean, I was born in the 70s, but
he was an overweight detective, private detective.
I mean, I remember Telly Savalas, who was
Kojak.
Kojak. I had a crush on him.
Big influence, as you can see.
Was your lollipop?
You would know Cannon if you saw him. You would know Cannon if you saw him.
Yeah, well, Cannon later was Jake and the Fat Man. Oh, someone said there was a Louise Mandrell.
Yes, Louise. And then the redhead. There was a redhead. The Barbara blonde, Louise was brunette, and then the redhead.
Right. I can name the 3 Pointer sisters, but I couldn't name the Mandrell sisters.
I gotta look it up now. Welcome Back, Kotter.
Give me drugs. Give me drugs.
Yeah. I've got the box set.
Of Welcome Back, Kotter. You are pathetic. I love it. My favorite line on Welcome Back, Kotter of all time was when Arnold Horshack was taking drugs. And Freddie goes, are those vitamins? And he goes, yeah, sure, Freddie, they're vitamins.
I think I remember that.
Oh my God. Great show. And what's her name? Didn't the girl who was on the show, wasn't she dating Daryl Hall? Marsha Strassman?
I don't know.
All I know is she got better looking the older she got. I thought she looked a lot better in her mid-40s than she did.
Wait a second. Krelbar, you own the box set, but you don't know anything about all the private intricacies of the show?
That's funny.
I remember the episode where Vinny paints a nude picture of Mrs. Carter on the side of the school.
Mr. Cartier.
Hey, Cavelli, don't you know it's impolite to be ugly when someone's eating? Great show. I could tell you Chuck's favorite show from the 70s. I think I can.
Barnaby Jones.
No, it would have Abe Vigoda. Is it Abe Vigoda on the show?
That's one of my top 5. Yes.
Oh, top
yes,
5. Okay. Guy loves Bonnie Miller.
I think it's one of the funniest shows. It's one of the top 5 shows that's hilarious that's ever been on.
It holds up too.
I'll tell you what. If you ask people who've worked in the profession, that's the most realistic cop show that's ever been on TV by far.
There's articles about that.
You know I love James Gregory.
It's that way.
Bonnie, that deep voice of James Gregory.
Casted. Yep.
Oh yeah, that cast was great. I mean,
all right. So we got Welcome Back, Kotter, Solid Gold. Interesting.
Back in the day, I mean, I was always go outside and play, so I didn't really watch much TV.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I did, but
everyone probably watched Happy Days because our era of growing up was Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Three's Company.
My younger sister always wanted to watch the Muppet Show, so it's like I had to be, not that I didn't like it, but I had to be like, I think Solid Gold or something else was on the same time, and she always won.
I love the Muppets.
Yeah,
that's a great show. Skeeter. Yeah. I think they did a great performance on the Muppet Show. I once saw them do a great performance of Mana Mana. Do 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 do. Mana Mana. Do 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 do. Great. I'm sorry, am I the only one here that love the Muppets? I love those guys.
No, I did too.
Show was brilliant.
Everybody loved the Muppets. Who didn't love the Muppets? You know,
there was a lot of good shows. I'll tell you what's funny as an adult, going back to watching shows that I were on when I was a kid that I did not like. One was Maude. I hated Maude as a kid. As an adult, I think it's one of the greatest shows ever. I love Maude. McMillan and Wife. McMillan and Wife is ridiculous because McMillan and Wife was what do you call it? He's the commissioner solving crimes. Could you imagine it? How realistic is that? The commissioner's solving crimes. That guy has nothing to do with the police. Ridiculous.
Well, on Batman, the commissioner did nothing but call Batman in.
Commissioner Gordon?
They never fought a single. Commissioner Gordon and what was his sidekick there? They never solved, At one point,
Chief O'Hara.
Jaywalkers, Chief O'Hara. Even the Jaywalkers, they were calling Batman. He's going to put in any fucking effort? Shit.
Yeah. I mean, some of those shows in the 70s.
Batman should have ran with that bomb and threw it right at the fucking precinct.
Like as a kid, I loved the $6 Million Man. But if you try to watch it today, it's almost unwatchable.
It's silly.
It's almost unwatchable. Although I do love Richard Anderson. I love Richard.
Ones are still watchable.
What is?
The Bigfoot episodes are still watchable with Andre playing Bigfoot.
Yeah, Andre played it once, and I think Ted Cassidy played it the other time, right?
Yeah.
Was it Ted Cassidy?
Yeah.
I know
the episodes with the fembots.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned, Andrew Collins in the chat says, what about Dance Fever with Denny Terrio? Have you guys watched that show, So You Think You Can Dance? It's kind of like the American Idol of dance.
I haven't seen it, but I know of it.
It's actually very good. I find that show entertaining. Not that I watch it because I don't really get a chance to watch TV, but let me Jay Sherman, have you seen the show?
It stinks.
All right, he didn't like it.
Yeah, Cheech,
The
I remember
Cyborg
Bigfoot Wild
Sasquatch.
Boy.
Best shows of the 70s.
Three's Company.
Well, of course,
Yeah.
we had, for me, we got
Do you
the
guys remember-
Incredible Hulk.
Oh, the Hulk's great.
$6 Million Man, Bionic Woman. Yeah, only 2 seasons, but I love the fuck out of it. Was Buck Rogers with Gil Gerard.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Mel Blanc as Tweaky.
Aaron Gray.
Yeah, well, and in the first season it was Mel Blanc.
Yeah. That's the only thing I remember.
What else do we got that was?
Do you guys remember the Three's Company episode where somebody misheard something through the door of the kitchen? Oh wait, that's every episode.
That's every
Yeah.
That's every episode. It was just a
Double
misunderstanding.
entendres and misunderstandings.
Oh, it's
All right,
ridiculous.
better landlord, Mr. Furley and Mr. Roper.
Mr. Roper.
Roper.
Robert.
It's been a long
Funny
day,
a
Helen.
landlord.
Well,
Funny a landlord.
Don Knotts was great as Furley.
Alex
yeah.
was good, Cheech.
Yeah.
One day at a time. I liked that as a kid.
Well, we all like that because Valerie
Yeah,
Bertinelli
but
was
did
on it.
anyone like Barbara? I mean, not Barbara. Who's
The
Barbara?
mom.
Was Barbara?
Yeah.
No,
The mother.
no, the
Bonnie
mother was
Franklin.
Bonnie Franklin.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
Barbara-
her name was
the two-
Barbara.
The
The
sister.
the daughter. Barbara was what's her face? Valerie Bertinelli played Barbara. Julie
Really?
was
Mackenzie.
played by Mackenzie Phillips.
Oh.
yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Anyone care for Julie? Anytime it was a Julie episode, it was like, yeah. Let me see who's on Wheel of Fortune at the time. Oh, it's just yeah. I mean, I didn't care for
Schneider.
the Mackenzie. I like Schneider.
Yeah.
Schneider was great.
Cheech says, "What about Alice?" That's another show. It got on my nerves
Yeah.
with Flo,
I like
But
that
think about-
though.
but it was still entertaining. Like today, it's like, I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on TV. Even is there any good shows? Any funny shows out?
No. Put it
No.
this way: if Alice was on TV today, it would win every award in every single category.
Hmm.
That's
Right.
how bad TV is today.
The last
And they'd
funny
be
show
like-
on TV was Seinfeld.
I agree. I love Seinfeld. Six
I
String
like the
Brian
first
says
two.
Hee Haw. I loved Hee Haw.
The first 2
Love it.
seasons of Drew Carey's show was good. Then it just got stupid.
Yeah, it was funny. Did he own that show?
I would think he did.
I would too, but then I think to myself, why is he taking the gig on The Price is Right?
Easy Money.
Yeah, but like if he owned that show, would he need the money? I mean, he would be
Sometimes they do it because they want something to do.
Carl Malden, The Streets of San Francisco. That was a great show.
Yeah,
Carl
Barnaby
Malden was like
Jones.
Barnaby Jones. was-
Barnaby
Oh, Quinn Martin Productions.
You know Greg Padalano at the cigar shop, Bonnie?
Yes.
He called me Hondo the other day. And I said, Hondo, you're calling me Steve Forrest from SWAT? And he just broke out laughing. He goes, yes, I am. But I don't think he knew that I knew who it was. But just the way he said it, it was very funny. I see him. Guess you had to be there, folks. They used to, they will start using AI to write shows now. Yeah, they probably will. And it won't be, well, it may not be funny. You know, it's a great show. Do you guys watch South Park at all?
I used to,
No.
yeah.
Used to years
South
ago.
Park just constantly rips on like all the stuff we're talking about, the absurdity of it. That's all they do is rip on the absurdity of it and do it in such a way. Like there was I don't know if you know what happened with the basketball. Was it basketball? The college athletes that were not making, like, video games were paying colleges to use students' likenesses, but not paying and the students have graduated and they weren't paying those people for their likeness. And so there was this big lawsuit and the schools lost, and they were like, no, you can't take that guy's money just because he went to your school. You don't own him. So then South Park had an episode when he was going to start the handicap basketball team. I think it was basketball. And he goes to one of the colleges, Cartman, and he's like, "Tell me how you handle your slave trade." And the guy's like, "We don't have slaves. We have student athletes." "Oh, student athletes. That is genius." Cartman's so brilliant. I've been telling you, man, that stuff's funny.
Yeah, if anyone wants to see that clip, it's going into the chat.
Oh, you found it? It's one of the... It brings tears to my eyes when you see
the best
Cartman
is
coming.
Cartman's dressed as like a little Southern guy, like fucking. He looks,
like a
he looks like a
chairman.
character of the Colonel from KFC. It's hysterical.
I laugh just thinking about how brilliant it is.
Yeah, they get vicious on things.
They rip. If something happens during the week, they'll go and just rip on it. I mean, they rip on everything, but mainly entertainment. And they're coming from a somewhat conservative view. You know what I mean? Which I like. That they're like, they look at it like not with open arms, but like, this is fucking crazy. I thought that was Roy Woods. Who's Roy Woods? Oh, Johnny Kramer took off. Later, Johnny. But yeah, anyways. So, Bonnie, what kind of content will you be producing?
Oh, boy.
More interview stuff?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, I think the reason why I started it was to, or named it Tapped In. It was just about, like, everybody has a story. So it was just talking about, like, your journey and, you know, everybody's specific journey. And, you know, I'd have, like, I actually had a list of things to ask.
Right.
Yeah, just for everybody's journey, because we all have stories.
Yeah.
Some stories are like, I think most stories are really cool. I really do.
Interesting, anyways. People's personal. What was the one you would? Chuck was. I think. Did you buy the book yet, Chuck? Or are you getting the book on the Gambler Guy?
Oh, it's not out yet.
Oh, it's not out yet.
When it's out, I'm going to get it. So I'll tell you guys a really cool story real quick. Dave heard it, but I don't think anybody else did. So the guy's name is Billy Walters. He's the most successful gambler in American history. He bets on sports. And he also traded in the stock market. And he did 3 years federal time for insider trading. Donald Trump pardoned him. Long story short, I watched the interview with him, and they asked him what was one of his like insider gambling tips. And he says, "Well, I'm going to give you strategy and stuff in the book, but," he goes, "I'll give you one of my favorite plays. And if you think about this is brilliant." And he says, "You know, with the Super Bowl coming up," he said, "what I would do is hire somebody to attend, to either work at the stadium or to attend whoever was going to be singing the national anthem's rehearsals. And what I would do is I wanted to find out if they were going to sing it or if they were going to lip sync it." He said, "And if they lip synced it," he goes, "which happens a lot more than you think," he said, "I would load up." And he said, "I made a lot of millions betting on the fact that the song was going to be over or under whatever length they would put out based on I knew it was going to be recording." You know, I thought that was fascinating. And I think that's somebody that they should be, you know, in charge of the treasury or something like that. I think that's who we need inputting to the country. Like you were saying, stories.
Right. Well, he also was gambling, but he wasn't gambling. He knew what was going on. He was getting inside stuff.
Well, yeah, and the thing he said was, you don't want to ever gamble. You want to invest.
Right.
So, makes
I
sense.
mean, I think that's an interesting story.
Yeah.
His only crime was getting caught.
Chuck, you read a lot more books than I do. And by a lot more, I mean more than one.
Yeah.
In your
No,
life.
you know why? There's like no shows except reruns that I like, or I watch sports.
Right.
Like everything on TV now, I can't even take it. I can't even take it. The news, everything, nothing.
Same.
But you are waking up at 3 a.m. to watch Cannon.
I do.
All right.
Because it's just so worth it.
You know, you just remind me. I gotta start setting my DVR. I found out that MeTV has on every morning Dragnet. I fucking love the original Dragnet.
5:30, bro. 5:30. This is the city.
I've seen every episode a billion times.
So I ended up watching that movie last night that Matt suggested we watch called Heavy Trip.
Mm-hmm.
And I laughed. I thought it was very fun. It's a Finnish film, so you have to put on the subtitles yourself, or else everything's going to be in a foreign language. But it was good. It was very funny about a heavy metal band. Definitely not an American take on it, but like the, what do you call the Finland, Norway, Sweden? What do you call those countries?
Scandinavian.
Thank you. A definite Scandinavian look at metal. You know what I mean? Because even the band was like so absurd. It was funny as hell. It was really good. I recommend it to everyone. It's called Heavy Trip, and you can watch it free on Tubi. But it was really clever, and you don't see too many films today. I mean, has there been a movie anyone's loved lately that they want to tell us about? Although, Joe, didn't you have a horror movie you told me to watch?
Yeah, it was on Shudder. I watched it the other night called Tailgate. It's a
Oh,
foreign
it says
film.
it was on Prime. I can watch it on Prime.
Well, it's on Prime. Watch it on there.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of insane. It was fun. Yeah. It was like, what the but
oh, really? Was it scary?
No. It was just really like, what the I don't know how to explain it.
You still have to watch Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
That's great. That's fucking awesome.
Movie.
Oh, it is good?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I watched a movie the other night called Spiderhead. Have you guys seen Spiderhead?
No.
Never heard of
it. It is terrible with the guy that played Thor. What's his name?
Chris Helms?
Yeah. It's terrible. It is. I couldn't believe I sat through it. And yeah. Just sucks. But there's no good movies. It's like I like watching Tubi because it's all the old stuff. And then I think back, is it that things are bad, or I'm just becoming a crusty old man?
No,
it's a little bit of both.
Right?
It stinks.
Yeah. I don't know. I just have you seen any movies at all, Bonnie? Do you watch anything in general? Do you watch
I went to the movies and I seen The Chosen because I love Jesus. And prior to that, I think I went to see Top Gun. I actually went twice to see Top Gun.
Maverick. Yeah, Maverick was great.
Sorry. Yes, I went twice.
Top Gun Maverick, yeah.
I really I loved it. I loved it. So
Joe, have you seen The Chosen?
No, never heard of it.
And what was The Chosen? Is that is it a religious?
It is. It's a
period?
It is a religious thing. It's about Jesus and his disciples. It's on the. I have the app for it. I think they stream it through YouTube, but since it's starting to get big, they had like a couple of the seasons in the theater just for they ran it like a couple nights in the theaters.
Oh, is it like a series?
It's a series, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
is it on
it's on
Netflix? Who's?
Nope, it's on YouTube. I mean, or you just download the app, the Chosen app.
Oh, okay.
But it's
on YouTube.
The actors I really like.
Was this with the one with Kevin Sorbo? Did he have something to do with it?
No.
I thought they were doing something on Fox, and they were talking to him about some series.
Nope. This is
what, Dean Cain?
No, nobody. No celebrity.
Right.
None.
What was the movie with Jim Caviezel as Jesus? What was that movie? Is that Passion of the Christ?
Yeah.
God, Caviezel's great.
This one, you got to check out this one because he's real. I personally think he's really good out of all the ones I've seen.
Yeah. Have you seen Passion of the Christ with Caviezel?
No, I'm gonna write that down.
Isn't that the Mel Gibson directed movie?
Yeah.
And Peter Gabriel does the music.
There is one celebrity in The Chosen.
It's the Passion of the Christ.
Who is that?
Who?
Eric Avari. He's been in tons of things. You'd recognize him if you saw him. He always plays like Middle Eastern guys.
Yeah, I
Was
loved it.
Did Peter Gabriel do the soundtrack when the Caviezel movie? Is that the one I'm thinking of, the right one?
I don't think so.
No.
Or who directed it? Oh, no. I'm thinking of The Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah, that was Willem Dafoe.
That's a long.
Right, Willem Dafoe, and that's the one
apart.
that the soundtrack was called The Passion from Peter Gabriel. Okay, The Passion of the Christ was Caviezel, and that was Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Got it. Hugh Caldwell watched Apocalypto again last night. That's a crazy movie.
I've never seen that. How is it?
It's good. Interesting. Freaky. It's the Mayans, right? It's all about the Mayans.
Yeah, it's that
Did
one
you
guy
watch
that
Prey?
escaped sacrifice.
Did I watch what?
Prey.
What is
The
Prey?
last Predator movie that came out on Hulu like a few months back?
No,
That was
Predator.
awesome.
You know, when the second Predator came out and I saw it, I was like, you know what? I'd rather have watched the first one again and just seen it twice. They're all the same.
Get to the chopper.
I watched
Well, not really, because this one takes place hundreds and hundreds of years before then. It's like the Indians, Native Americans, I guess you want to call them.
Metallica documentary is the last thing I watched.
Now, which one? Is that the
Blackened, I think. Is that one? Because I think that's what they had. It was just one that was just literally. Was it on Netflix?
I don't know.
On Netflix.
I saw one in the theater years ago. Was that
No, this-
Saint Anger? What was the name of that one?
Some kind of monster.
Some kind of monster.
That's a great movie. But man, what a dysfunctional. How do 4 fucking people not just
Cheech asked me, where do I stand on Jesus movies? Well, usually I'll stand in the aisle until they say, hey, listen, buddy, take a seat. No, I don't. I find them entertaining.
It's okay.
I find all films entertaining. It's if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I thought The Passion of the Christ, The Last Temptation of Christ, I enjoyed that movie. I like Willem Dafoe. I thought it was good. I like any movie where Edward G. Robertson comes out and says, where's your Messiah now?
Yeah, I was just going to bring up 10 Commandments.
Yeah, that's the 10 Commandments, yeah. Where's your Messiah now? Alien versus Predator. God.
I didn't like that. Yeah.
There's a great scene, a Jesus scene in History of the World, Part 1.
Yep. John Hurt.
Jesus. What? Jesus. What? It's fucking great. Mel Brooks. What can you say?
He's still with us. Thank God.
Yeah. He's up there. So you watch The Chosen. Okay, I haven't seen any movies. So, actually, what did I watch?
Have you been to the theater recently?
No.
They have the reclining chairs. It's just so comfortable now.
Yeah, there's I did go see something. I went by myself. It was like 9:00 at night. And I looked and it was starts at 9:15. It's literally 5 minutes up the road.
Was Pee Wee Herman sitting next to you?
You know what? The reclining chairs, they'd be like, sir, you have to wake up. You're ruining the movie for everybody. Snort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That happened to me on a plane. They're like, sir, you're going to have to wake up. Like, you can't be snoring.
I like the old Stephen Wright joke about going to the movie theaters. He's like, they kicked me out of the theater for bringing my own food. I said, listen, your prices are crazy, and I haven't had a barbecue in a long time. I love Stephen Wright.
Yeah.
All right, what's a better movie? Wizard of Oz or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Willy Wonka. I'll go with Willy Wonka.
Anyone else want to put?
I like them both.
That's splitting hairs.
I don't like either.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I agree with Chuck.
I like that Willy Wonka's just demented.
I'm a big Willy Wonka fan. Veruca Salt.
I love them both.
Violet
I'm going to say
Beauregard.
Wizard of Oz is just better.
I'd say Willy
I
Wonka.
read those books when I was a kid too. Charlie and Chocolate Factory and The Great Glass Elevator. I was totally into those books.
You just like Wizard of Oz, Chuck, because Margaret Hamilton.
Yep.
Listen, I'll argue with anybody. That's the most evil line ever said to anybody. And I'll get your little dog too. You got to be an evil, evil person to say that. I don't care what anybody says. You
But
can
then
say
for
a
the
lot of
next
stuff.
30
You can't
years,
say
she
that.
was. The next 30 years, she's pitching Maxwell House as Cora, the Maxwell House lady.
And she was on Sigmund and the Sea Monster.
And she was on the Paul Lynde Halloween special with Kiss and Billy. What was her last name?
Billy Hayes.
Billy Hayes. Thank you. Witchy Poo.
Yep.
Who I always thought looked like Witchy Poo was Ruth Buzzy without trying. Remember Ruth Buzzy? I'm laughing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Local girl.
Always cracking that guy with the purse.
Oh, she did? She's from Rhode Island?
Yeah, from Westerly.
What about music, Bonnie? What are you listening to these days? You were in a room filled with musicians.
Rihanna.
No, I used to listen to Rihanna. I used to. I mean, it's like, once again, my tastes. Oh God, I've been battling, honestly. So in the past year, a few years ago, my mom passed. Well, I'm going to say 5 years ago. And then I had a bad breakup. I went through a lot of shit. Sat in my shit, healed some childhood traumas, and renewed my walk with God, with Jesus. Got rebaptized in the summer, and that's actually what has helped me like get through with like not having no anxiety anymore, not taking any meds. Just it's helped me. So that's
right.
Now, with that being said, when I listen to certain things, because I used to I loved heavy metal, I loved rock and roll, I loved old school freestyle, I loved rap, I loved everything. But I'd be sitting there listening to, not too long ago, some old school freestyle music, and I think I actually put something on my my Facebook, because of what it was saying, and I'm singing it, and I'm sitting in the car, and I'm like, why? I'm literally filling my head. Like, I don't know why I just had this at 51 years old, this like epiphany, like, oh my God, I'm singing this and literally filling my head with this garbage. Like, I like the music, but the words are just awful, like awful. And I didn't really hear it until now. And I'm like,
now we're
wow.
talking about Bob Dylan.
Yeah. There's just so much. It's just hard now. There's a lot of things I'll start listening to, and I'm like, oh, I can't. I don't know. I feel convicted. Like, I just can't listen to it because it's just rotten of what the words are. So I still, once again, like I did listen to it. I don't this.
Give me an idea of like a band what we're listeing to. Is this like Beastie Boys? What are we listening to?
That I think I was listening to like MC Light or Lisa or something like that. Like I like the 80s freestyle.
You were listening to Lisa head to toe. Head to toe. What was the other one? I'd like to take you home. No, I'd like to take you home.
See? I'm like, no.
All Cried Out, by the way, is the worst. Is that the one that goes, apology not accepted?
Yeah.
Oh, that song is awful.
Yeah, well, so it's just hard. Like Metallica, I love, but I'm like, there's some things I'm like, I'm in the middle. I still listen to them working out, Godsmack. I don't know. There's some things I can listen to more rock than I can the old dance and rap, because of the words are just a little more angrier in rock than they are more sexual in the other one. And I'm like, all right, well, let me just pick my poison right now while I am going through this change of whatever.
So have you checked out Stryper at all?
No, I know who Stryper is. I never really was a huge fan of Stryper. I mean, they're okay.
No, I agree. So what people used to say to me, oh, you don't like them because they're Christian? I'm like, no, I don't like them because I think they stink.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no.
I'm not that far to figure out what they were singing about.
And honestly, like Christian music, there's some of it I like. I'm trying to listen to it because I like the words, but the music is like, can we kind of like mash it up here? Can we get like Metallica playing some like, something? I don't know.
power and the glory. What was the that's a South Park bit. What was the Christian band? Is it Petra?
Yeah, I remember them.
That John Elefante sang for?
Oh, John Elefante sang for him?
Well, first of all, are you a big Kansas fan?
Dust in the Wind?
All those songs are all Jesus. He's born again.
Is it?
And
I didn't know that. And that's on
Carrie
my playlist.
Livgren.
Carry On My Wayward Son. All the songs he sang about, he was a born again Christian. The singer quit in 1981, and they got John Elefante from Petra, who's a Christian singer, to come sing. Play the game. Play the game tonight. It's all religious stuff.
Triumph, and I didn't even realize that. I love Triumph. They are.
Oh yeah. Oh, are they? Is Rick Emmett?
Triumph was great.
But all the songs in Kansas
Triumph is
religious songs.
Yeah,
like they're all.
I had no idea.
Hold on, baby, hold on, cause it's later than you think, and we're
Seven is one of the
on
greatest
brink.
albums ever made.
What is?
Thunder 7.
You like Thunder 7? I like the
One of
two
the
before
greatest
Thunder
albums
7.
ever made.
Yeah, Allied Forces.
Allied Forces and Never Surrender.
Allied Forces that had Fight the Good Fight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
Yeah.
And that's Christian, right?
Yeah. The good book says it's better to give than to receive. I do
Where's
my
all
best
that?
to do my part.
That's a great song. Now we need some new Christian music, like newer
Well, for
stuff.
a while there was that. What like there's that. I can only imagine. Remember that song?
No.
When that day comes, I can only imagine. That's a big. Or open my eyes of my heart, Lord. Da, da. There's a lot of worship music. See, when I used to be very good.
Songs.
Anthrax worship music.
Yeah, I don't like slow songs. I need to either have
Right.
some dance.
Yeah. This is
or
this
some
is like a
rock.
worship. This is worship music where I used to be very friendly with David Paul, who's one of the Barbarian brothers, originally from Rhode Island, and he was so into music. And one day he's like, "You got to meet me at the God, what was the name of this church in Malibu?" And so I went up there, and it was like all worship. Everyone was closing their eyes and testifying, and I was like, I'd rather be in a black church doing this, just because I like the songs better. Like the body of Christ, sleep, swimmer's body, all muscled up and toned. The body of Christ. Now, let me just tell you right now, if you're not a South Park fan or you're not sure, you have to see the episode called Christian Rock Hard, when Cartman wants to start a Christian rock band.
Yeah,
It's the greatest episode. The power and the glory. It's the greatest episode on South Park ever.
That's the one where Token plays bass. It's like,
but all the songs, like Cartman's like, listen, we just take every song, take the word baby out, and we'll just throw Jesus. So like every song is wildly inappropriate. It's the body of Christ. Sleek swimmer's body, all muscled up and toned. The body of Christ. Oh, how I wish I had that body of my own. Oh my God, he's got me so enticed. How I wish I had the body of Christ. The body of Christ. Oh, the people. It's so good. It really is. But getting back to that, I think there are a bunch of Christian metal bands.
I'm still searching. I mean, there are bands. I just haven't found any that like I have taken to, because a lot of them are just slow. And not that they're bad. I'm like, oh.
There is an album by Anthrax called Worship Music, though. Joe is right.
What is it?
Which is an album called Worship Music by Anthrax. It's a great record, but I don't know if it's religious. I don't know I couldn't tell you what any lyrics in the band, except for the song "The Devil You Know." But yeah, I don't know. Although is Striper still? They're still out gigging, aren't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because
what was his name?
Michael
Sweet.
Sweet. Yeah.
I always think it's something else because of Matthew Sweet. Cheech is asking Bonnie if you know a lot of hymns.
No.
Hymns.
I just got No.
I see a lot of ads for hymns on Facebook.
For
what
what?
it's called? Like, It's HIMS. It's like, I think it's for erectile dysfunction, but it's always like, my boyfriend uses hymns. Like what?
Okay. I hear Dave, I found something.
What's that?
It's an email I get every day. Yeah.
Cigar page.
Yeah, I get 100 of them every fucking day from that place.
I get 100 a minute from Cigar Page. I just
it's February 15th, and here are some reasons why this day matters in rock history.
Oh, excellent.
They're usually only 4 or 5 things. The first thing, in 1964, the Beatles had their first #1 album with Meet the Beatles. The record would remain at the top of the charts for 11 weeks.
Wow. And that Meet the Beatles album, by the way, is not a real record. It's a U.S. pressing of the first. It's like a greatest hits of the first 2 records.
Okay, yeah.
Because
in the year that I was born, in 1967, the band Chicago formed under the name The Big Thing. They later changed the name to Chicago Transit Authority, and then finally Chicago.
Right. Yeah, they got sued.
In 1979, at the 21st Grammy Awards, the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack won Album of the Year, and the Bee Gees took home the trophies for Best Pop Group and Best Arrangement for Voices for Staying Alive. That same night, Billy Joel's Just the Way You Are won the Grammy for Record of the Year and Song of the Year.
That was 78?
That was 79.
I think it's 78.
Here's the reason
hold on 1 second. The Stranger was 77. And Saturday Night Fever was also 77, wasn't it? Therefore, they would be at the Grammys in 78, not 79. 78, I think Grease was like the big.
Well, did Saturday Night Fever, was it out for a while before it really took off? Or did it hit it right away?
I was 9.
Yeah, well, it was hosted by John Denver. And finally, this 1979. I looked it up on Google. And the Bee Gees won 4 awards that night. And you know the Grammys is always off. They gave Jethro Tull Best Metal Song for Aqualung in 1980, 1982. In 1988, and this is something I remembered, but I forgot until I just read this. In 1988, Def Leppard was forced to cancel a concert in El Paso, Texas, after singer Joe Elliott referred to the city as, quote, the place with all those greasy Mexicans, unquote. Following the comment, the band received threats that the show would be disrupted, so they scrapped it.
They played in Guadalajara, Mexico the next night. Oh,
probably.
What? Wait, where in Texas was this?
El Paso.
Oh, okay, that's fair. No, there's a ton of greasy Mexicans there. No, yeah, that is the biggest shanty town.
But the thing is, nowadays, that comment would have gotten them just canceled, obliterated. You'd never hear from them again.
Yeah. You know, if you said to me, I wish I could go to a town where it looks like it was preserved from 1979, you could go right to fucking El Paso.
Probably.
So, Dave, you mentioned one of my all-time most overrated, beat to death, no need to hear him ever again when you said Shantytown. If Bob Marley's not the most beat to death, overrated artist I've ever heard, I've never heard anything.
You're not a Bob
Marley literal
fan,
definition
huh?
of atrocious. Atrocious. That's the nicest thing I could say about it.
What was that word again?
I like Bob Marley. I don't know what you're talking about. I think Waiting in Vain is a beautiful song. What is?
Name one original song he did.
Waiting in Vain.
Name one song he did that didn't sound exactly like every single other song he did.
Exodus. Exodus. Movement for job people. I love Marley. I don't know how you don't like him.
I like
Burning Rubbish.
Ziggy Marley.
Burning Rubbish. It's that train fire. Burning Rubbish.
I will say this. I don't know how he got away with stealing the Banana Splits theme and calling it a song. But that song, Buffalo Soldier, Buffalo Soldier ripped off the Banana Splits.
Because that's every single song that he does.
And I want to see Bingo, Fleagle, Drooper, and Snorks all getting paid.
Yeah. Yeah. From Six Flags Dallas, as a matter of fact. That's what he shot that.
Oh, they did?
You know, they had
If you
that
look
Banana
back,
Splits horror movie.
that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was surprisingly good.
It was worth it. You know what I mean? If you knew the Banana Splits, it was definitely different. You know. So I put it this way: I would put Bob Marley in the category of Grateful Dead atrocious.
No,
Like
come on.
as soon as the pot's gone, they're like, "Oh, this music's terrible."
I
You
will
know?
say this: the other day on my feed on YouTube, and I don't know what kind Bonnie, we always talk about what comes up on our feeds in YouTube, and I'm watching, and some guy's like, he's talking about like he's going to put. It was something about him rating albums. He wanted to put albums in order. So I click in the video, and the first thing I see is the guy's wearing a Grateful Dead shirt, and I'm like, delete, boom, you're gone. How can I listen to this guy's opinion if he's liking the Dead?
Yeah, I never understood that.
I was like, man, come on. He might have been putting Genesis albums in order. Either way, I wasn't having it. Bonnie, what comes up on your feeds when you're looking at YouTube?
No, I'm never really on it.
Oh, really? I thought you said you had the app in your phone. I
do, but I'm like, honestly, what I'm always doing is like on Zoom with classes or I'm that's why I said if I did I have it for the Tapped In, but I just haven't been on it.
Right.
So when I do watch like The Chosen, I usually go to that Chosen app itself. I have the app itself.
Right.
I don't even go on.
Maybe
YouTube.
we can get you on the. I'm trying to do something with Paul. Well, he wants to do something. We're just gonna. I told him it's probably going to be better in the spring, but to do like a podcast from Mr. J's.
Oh yeah, that would be easy.
With Mark, me, Chuck, and Carl, where we're just talking cigars.
Yeah.
And basically, it just means let Carl talk, and we'll just.
Yeah.
Carl gave us a good cigar. What's that?
We'll just smoke them.
Yeah.
Carl gives good advice.
Oh yeah, no, he knows his cigars, and
he's got some good advice though. Like he's got always a good word.
Yeah. Oh, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he always will correct people instead of saying don't say if, say when.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
don't say try, you're doing.
Do it. Right. Yeah, it's the universe is listening. I've been saying that for years, but when I met Carl, he always says it back to me, and I'm always like, the universe is listening. That's what I always call it. Like whatever you put out there, that's what happens. So you say try, you're gonna try. You're gonna do it, you'll do it. The universe is listening.
Yeah, just positive self-talk anyway. Instead of like that. Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Well, people say to me all the time, when are you gonna eat carbs again? I'm like, I don't have any plans to. I don't care. I just am doing this. I'm doing it. Like I don't care. It's not even a thought in my head. I don't think about it. How I eat. It's not something that, I know people like, when I see like, do I miss pizza? I do like pizza, but I've had enough pizza. I can remember how it tasted.
Do you have your blood tested?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for my results, but yes, everyone so far that's gotten their blood tested doing this has gotten amazing results. Like things have gone down. And so my blood I should have had my blood work back, but I think my doctor went on a 2-week vacation after he saw me. He was like, that's it. I quit. But yeah, no. And I can, and everything like, I've been off. I used to have to take high blood. I don't think you realize I weighed about 265 before. So I was on blood pressure medicine. I was on levothyroxine. I just stopped taking everything, and everything went back to normal.
Good.
Yeah.
If it works for you, then.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. And everyone's like, yeah, and Krelbar and I argue about this quite a bit, but it's what works for you. And I'm not.
Yeah.
I never try to convince anybody what they should do for themselves. I don't care. Just like I said, someone's like, oh my God, I'm on the diet, but I just had peanut butter. So what? What are you telling me for? I don't care. You know what I mean? You want to call me and tell me something. Tell me you held up a liquor store and you got into a shootout with the FBI. Then you got me at least listening. I had peanut butter. Oh my God. There's a reason I drink from the grumpy as fuck mug. All right. So,
Dave, if you ate peanut butter, that would be news.
What's that?
It'd be wheeled away in an ambulance.
Yeah, if
you had peanut butter.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think an ambulance for peanut butter for me, but it would definitely give me a migraine headache. My peanut allergy is weak, but my cashew allergy is bad. Everyone in the chat, please follow Bonnie's channel so she can stop making more content. Give her I'm putting it back in there again. It's in the chat again. Give her the drive to, when she sees people are waiting for videos, she'll be making them. Singing along to gangster rap in her car.
Yeah, you never know.
That should be your next video. Is you just in your car jamming along driving to "Fuck the Police" by NWA.
That's so crazy because it's like Colors and Iced Tea. I used to love. It's not that I don't. I can't sing certain things anymore. Like last year, when I was going for, or 2 years ago when I was going for Maxim magazine, and I had no problem putting I don't want to say half naked, but provocative things out there. And now I'm like, oh God, what am I doing? Don't worry, they're down. If you didn't see it, hopefully nothing's out there anymore. But if it is, whatever. I mean,
whatever. I mean, look,
I know,
at some point you're going to be 90 saying, look at this is what I looked like back then.
No, and I know but you know what? Looks don't matter.
No, but it's just,
Anybody
when you're reminiscing at 90, you're not even going to remember what your name is. You're going to be like, that was me. And you make up stories about yourself.
Back in my day.
Isn't that what every 90-year-old, I'm telling you.
I have better stories than that, though. I mean.
Yeah. Ooh. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Oh, Lord, help me.
Back to the gangster rap in the car.
Yeah.
That'd be great. No, but that would be, I'll tell you, that would at least be funny. And then you can pray for forgiveness.
Absolutely.
And say, look, it was just for a video. It's just to get people to laugh.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Right. You could be like Vito on The Sopranos.
It's a fucking joke.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. You can see I like the clips. Let me show you. Did I ever show you when Jim was on a flight back from New York?
No.
This is Jim on a flight back from New York.
But enough about me. I hope this hasn't been boring for you. I always get so carried away. I lose all track of time.
That was a good movie.
It's the best. It's the best. What was the name of the movie that it stole? I mean, that it borrows from?
Oh, no.
Yeah, Airplane.
Oh, geez.
There's an actual movie that they bought a script from the 50s. And they basically copied the movie line for line and changed just lines as they went. Yeah, hey, Mary Beth, what's going on? What is it?
They had the name Stryker in it, too.
Everything was the same. It was like the same movie.
Like something 0
hour.
0 hour.
That's it. You guys, if you ever get a chance, Chuck, you got to see the movie 0 Hour. It's Airplane without It's Airplane without the jokes.
There's actually a side-by-side comparison video. 0 hour in Airplane. Let me put this on the chat.
Yeah. Put it in the chat. I don't know. Bonnie, do you see the chat at all or no?
If I click on it, I don't.
Oh, it doesn't?
Yeah. I don't see it. I wish we could do the actually I was just sending you a message because I only have 3% left on my iPad. I can't plug it in because I have my headphones plugged in.
Oh, right. But you don't see comments? Like, do you see comments on the page on the far right?
I'm gonna actually I'll take a picture and send it to you and show you what I say.
On StreamYard?
That's what I say. Unless I hit it.
Oh,
that bot.
I was going to say, where did you send it to? That was my Facebook.
I sent it to you. Yeah, Messenger.
Yeah, I'm going to go to it right now. Let me just see.
unless I hit the bottom chat.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's weird.
Is that why I can't use my headphones? I mean, without my, but I used it without
Well,
my headphones.
it looks like that's the webpage. I have no idea.
Do you want me to take a better
no, it's
picture?
good. It's good. No, I see the picture. I just don't know where I don't see the layout's way different. Actually, the layout looks more like YouTube layout than it does StreamYard's.
Maybe because it's on my iPad.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't have any idea. Oh, so here's a fake request on Facebook. What is this? Yeah, okay, delete. It's like you always see like a model picture, and then it's like 0 friends. Oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell lost? All right, where's my StreamYard? All righty. All right, so you have 3% left on your iPad?
Yes.
All right.
And I can't plug it in because I have these plugged in.
All right, so then we'll wrap it up with you.
With me, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone, I want everyone to, if you look, Bonnie's link is on there. I'll put it in there one more time. You guys.
She's up to 51. 51.
Oh, she is.
I was 51.
Oh, all right. Very good then. 51 subs.
Sweet.
And then when you,
I'm going to have to go in and check after.
Yeah. All right. Well, and then, this thing will, oh, Joe. And Joe, you want to pull up after Bonnie goes, do you want to pull up a list?
I'm about to get out too.
Oh, all right.
List.
All righty, everyone. A list of things you'd rather be doing right now.
Sleeping, right?
All righty. All right, everyone. We're going to call it a night then. Chuck, anything you want to say before you go? Chuck, anything?
Very cool on the Wednesday night. Very cool having Bonnie. I thought a lot of good topics, a lot of good discussions, and I think a lot more to come.
Yeah. Yeah. And Bonnie, you're welcome back anytime you want to come on. I mean, we usually, right, obviously tonight it's more you're new to everybody, so we're talking to you, but most of the time we're just ripping and riffing on shit. We don't really, we usually go through lists of like guitar players, like from magazines, just making fun of them, and because they're always off. Although the last one was not just bad, but the number one spot was correct. It was Holsworth. He was the greatest guitar player. Anyways, Krelbar, what else? You got anything?
Nah, I got nothing.
Have either of you guys lit up a cigar today?
I'm going to tonight.
No, I wish I could have.
Oh, I had a couple today already.
Because I'm off until Monday, so I'm definitely having one later.
Nice.
All right.
Busy day to me. Tomorrow.
Treat yourself to a Milano V. Joe. I know
Probably
you
will.
got a humidor. All right. All right, everyone. We're going to call it a night. I want to thank Bonnie. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do not know if I'm going to be. I don't know if I'm going to the dinner tomorrow night with Chuck, or if I'm going to go down to Mr. J's. I haven't decided yet.
I will be working. I will be working.
You will be there.
Both.
Yeah.
What dinner is
that? Could do both.
There's a blackened chicken dinner with the black labels.
Black labels.
The Black Label cigars. Let me find my video that gets me out of here. Hold on, Roger. Does Roger have anything to say? Let me find out if Roger has anything to say.
No.
All right, well, that settles that. All right, everyone. I want to thank everyone for Speed for Hire says, rest well, rockers. Prayers to Bonnie. Thank you very much, Speed for Hire. All right, everyone. Have a great night, and I will see you all Monday night. Very good.
Good night, everyone.
Okay, goodbye, Ted.